Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the latest presentation, which is the awards presentation for our category Silhouettes. And I've got Andy Rouse lined up in our virtual green room, all ready to talk to us about that category. And I've got a load of our winners as well, all lined up waiting to talk to you. So we'll get to sharing some fabulous photography and hopefully some really interesting discussions. I'm sure there will be right after this. How you doing?
I'm getting down. That was you spent some money on this music, didn't you? That must have cost at least £2.94.
Exactly. I chose that specially for you.
Oh, it's the way it was building. It was building and never quite get there. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know. Well, we can't go on forever.
It's like my career. It builds, but it never quite gets there.
It's a bit like mine. It will never. Bill's never goes anywhere, and it won't last forever. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm on the downward slope, but I'm having a good time going down.
Well, I wouldn't say that. We were talking off air about the stuff you've done in Svalbard. Yeah, awesome, mate. Awesome.
Luck.
Yeah, awesome work. If you haven't seen some of Andy's stuff recently, go on his social media feeds and take a look. That polar bear is just stonking, mate. Absolutely stonking. So yeah, very jealous of that one. That is for sure. Anyway, how are you? Because lots happened since I last spoke to you. You've got married. You've been to Svalbard. Yeah. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. It was brilliant. Yeah, brilliant day. Two favorite girls in my life were there, which was just awesome. So all went to plan. Had a really nice collection of friends there. Honeymoon was brilliant. Costa Rica.
Yeah. So you'll have had some good shots from there as well. Hopefully.
We did a bit of that. Yeah. And then I literally came back. I've got this mad schedule because of COVID cancellations on my trips. So I literally came back. I had 9 days, 10 days. And I went to Svalbard, and now I've had 12 days. And I'm going to Galapagos. Don't feel sorry for me.
Nobody is.
Nobody is. And then it's Jaguars, and then it's Disneyland.
Yeah. Well, there you go. What are you going to photograph in Disneyland?
Myself. On roller coasters, which you may or may not know is a big passion in my life.
Yeah, I did hear. It's been a while since I've been on one of those, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's been about 4 hours since I was on one. Anyway, so Silhouettes, what an amazing
except the roller coaster of life. But yeah, Silhouettes.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
That was a roller coaster because was some amazing stuff in there.
Yeah, I when I look through, you want us to pick, our favorites, top 100, whatever. I struggled. There was some amazing stuff in there. There's so many amazing creative pictures because I love seeing photographers push themselves into, staying a bit later, staying a bit longer, trying something a little bit different, trying something that might not work. I love seeing photographers do that because I think it's the only way that you really get better and you get noticed. And certainly for people like us, where we're looking at lots of pictures, when you see one of these moments where somebody has pushed themselves, it literally just grabs you out the screen, slaps you repeatedly around the face with a wet fish, and makes you put the 5 stars on it.
Exactly.
And there was. I think I started off my 100 at 482.
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, when I looked through them, I thought, oh my word, over to you, mate. Because
yeah, thanks for that. No, really, I really appreciate it. It was so amazing. I mean, I don't normally look at other photographers' work. This competition is the only one this one, the Indian one I judge. I only look at other photographers' work, and I just went through and I just loved it. I went backwards and forwards, and I felt so bad at cutting out anyone because it's one thing taking a relatively straight shot, bird on a stick, but to go to the art of doing a silhouette where you're staying out later, it's antisocial, morning or evening, you're dedicating yourself to getting something very different that may or may not work, that people may or may not like, but you're doing it because you believe in it. And I think that's the biggest thing that all of these guys have done, is that they believe in themselves, they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's doing something, as you said, it's just doing something different, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
trying something, maybe outside your own comfort zone. But that's how we all progress and improve as photographers, because, everybody's got room to learn something new, to try a new technique, to try something a little different.
But that's what
And
this competition is all about. I think this
yeah,
competition encourages that, because it encourages you to try to fail. As Chris Backham would say, you set out to fail, and if you succeed, it's a major victory. Well, this competition encourages you to try something new, to push
yeah,
yourself, and I think that's good.
exactly. Yeah,
Can't be bad.
good stuff. Anyway, we've got quite a few comments coming in. So as I said, if people want to sort of come by and say hello and comment on the pictures and what have you, do feel free. I'll try and catch up with those as we go through the evening. Obviously conscious of time, because these do tend to run on a little bit. We'll talk anyway. Andy's going to keep me in check and make sure I don't waffle on for too long. But let me just sort of catch up with the first few comments, because there are a few people sort of dropping by and saying hello. So Lukasz Jablonski says hello, everybody. So evening, Lukasz. Vicky Santello, greetings, Rob and Andy. Hi, Vicky. Hope you're well.
Hello, Vicky.
Lawrence Doherty says hi, guys. Hi, Lawrence. Susie Crow's in. Evening, guys. Naomi Stollo. Now there's a familiar face. She's talking about yours, Andy, not mine.
Probably.
Yeah. Marco essay, is great to be online and watch this real time. Well, I'm glad you're with us, Marco, and I hope you enjoy the evening.
You can tell I haven't got used to having the ring on yet, can't you? I just keep doing this with it all the time. It's just I keep fiddling with it, and then on the day of the wedding, I actually dropped it on the floor, which is not good.
Oops! No, you don't want to be doing that, and you don't want to be dropping it through the grate in the road or anything like that, because that would be bad news.
I just get an air ticket one way.
Anyway, Brad James is in. Hi, Brad. He says hello, everyone. Congrats, Andy, on the wedding. I'm looking forward to seeing the incredible work to come. Mal Ostwick is in as well. Hi, Mal. Good evening, Rob and Mr. Rouse from a wet North Yorkshire. It's wet in Hampshire as well, actually. But I had the most amazing week of weather in Wales. It was sunny day after day. Well, you probably see I've gone quite brown. Day after day of sunshine.
I'm just going to hold up my colour card, but I don't think that's on the brown spectrum. What I'm seeing on your cheeks and nose. I think when I look at my
more red.
I think your CMYK conversion has gone a bit wrong there.
Yeah, probably. You don't want to know what my CMY conversion is like. Anyway, and I hope the flower photography is going well, by the way, Mal. Mal's been looking at my videos with long lenses and photographing flowers with, sort of. I think Mal's a Olympus shooter like you, Andy.
He's no, I know Mal. He's a good guy.
So he's 150 to 400. I think he's been photographing flowers. So yeah. And Alain Poirot's on. Hi, Alain. He says hi from France. Ben Pulitzer's on. Hello, Rob and Andy. Hope you're well. Yes, thank you, Ben, and you too. And Anna Maria Grimo. Good evening from Italy. Good evening, Anna Maria. And Kurum Khan's on as well. So hello, everybody. So we've got plenty of people on and watching, which is great stuff. So shall we get on and let's I've got to swap the let's just line the video up. Let's talk about our young winner first. So I'm going to play a little video, like I think people have got used to what I do now with these, because I'm the presentations are going up a notch this year. I'm getting more professional in my old age.
You're spending money.
Yeah, I'm spending money.
And if you know
a whole
him,
£4.50.
If you know him, it's a tough thing. That wallet, it's like locked. You try and open it, and it just doesn't. So
doesn't happen. No. Doesn't happen. Not very often, anyway. That's for sure. Right. Okay. Thanks for that. Right. Let's introduce our young award winner. So I'll play the video and we'll bring him on. So yeah, hope this works. Hello, D'Artagnan.
Hello.
We speak again.
Sorry, what was that?
We speak again, D'Artagnan.
Oh, yes. I've been a bit slack of late. I should have been.
He looks like he's in a sauna. He looks like he's in his sauna there.
Yeah, are you in a sauna?
No, this is my house.
Huh? Oh.
Because it's, what time in the morning is it for you? 7 or 8 o'clock or something?
Yeah,
like
7. It's not too
7.
bad.
Yeah, so
get up at, it's 6:30. I'm still a bit tired.
Yeah.
Sorry if my hair's a bit out of whack as well.
Oh, don't worry about that. You wait till you get to my age. Well, I tell you, you'd be a bit follically challenged by the time you get to our age.
Oh,
so.
okay. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I wasn't saying anything.
D'Artagnan, you wouldn't be a New Zealand person, would you, by any chance?
Of course, I'm full on. Oh, not actually full on New Zealand. My dad's German. So I'm like sort of half.
Just wanted to check with the cricket today. That was all. So okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I actually didn't see the result. I'm not a big cricket fan. I'm just sort of follow the football,
Yeah. Well, it's about time we won something in cricket. That's for sure. It's been a long time coming. But anyway,
we'll get thrashed in the second test.
I was going to say there's another test to come, isn't there?
Yeah, we'll get
how
thrashed.
many are we playing? I don't know.
Too many.
Yeah,
we should quit now.
Shall we? I'll tell you what we'll do.
Can you get the picture up at the same time?
Yeah, I will actually. So what I need to do is, hold on, I need to share. That's what I need to do. I need to share a screen, which I will do.
It's technology,
right now.
Isn't it? It's amazing how it's just incredible how other people have operators to do this, and
hang on,
we have him.
It's just
what's that picture on the wall behind you, D'Artagnan? I can see that.
That is the Muriwai Gannet colony in West Auckland. It looks like the sun is actually exploding, but that's just because there's light reflecting off it. It's actually much nicer.
That's not the Cape Kidnappers, Jobby, is it? No.
No. The Cape Kidnappers is on the other side, and further south of New Zealand. This is just like an hour drive from where we live.
Oh, nice.
Right. Hopefully that should. Spot. Right, hang on.
Oh yeah.
There we go. There we go. It works eventually. It's slick as ever. You see,
it's amazing.
Slick as ever. I am.
The way it looks like a professional slideshow. It's incredible.
I know. Who'd have thought it? Hey.
Anyway, amazing picture with atmosphere, composition, everything absolutely right in it and bang on. Great picture, mate. Absolutely great picture.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Worked out what it is yet? Yeah.
Okay, so Rob, you may have seen the caption I wrote. That's the second half of the story because I couldn't be bothered writing the first half because it's actually quite long. So here we go. Strap in, everybody. I got up rather early, I woke up early, and we live kind of like rural New Zealand, so our driveway is about 300 meters long. So I walked down the driveway early morning. I didn't take my camera. And I went to open the gate. I can't remember why I went to open the gate now, whether the postie was coming to deliver something. I don't know. Anyway, so I walked down to the gate, opened it, and on the way up, I saw these nice backlit flowers and the dew and the lights. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's looked quite nice. I'll come back with my camera. So I opened the gate, walked back to the house. But when I first went out, I let the dog out as well. And when I got back, the dog had wandered off. He's usually very good and doesn't go under any fences or anything, but we just like to know and make sure he's not venturing off into the world. So I got my camera, and instead of going back up the driveway to photograph the flowers, I went down to our creek, not really our creek, but a creek that runs through our property, where I thought he might have went. So I went down and followed him, and he was just there walking around the stream. And that's when I found this, what I now think is some species of crane fly.
I was going to say, it looks like a crane fly to me.
I don't know what species of crane fly, because I tried to look it up, and there's something like 600 species of crane fly in New Zealand, and I could not be bothered identifying it.
Life's too short sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I tried to I put it on one of our local New Zealand bug identification page on Facebook or something, and someone said it was from a specific genus where there are only 100 species in that genus.
Well, you're narrowing it down, mate.
I'm glad there are people like that in the world as well.
Yeah.
So did you see this in silhouette, or did you move
no,
photograph it?
You haven't let me get to that bit yet.
Oh,
come on, Andy, don't interrupt the man.
So I saw this guy or girl, and it's because going down the creek is a bit of a slope. It's like sort of on a hill. The sun hasn't come over the hill yet, so I spent maybe 10 to 15 minutes photographing it. I turned my body position slightly, and there was some nice blue sky and bokeh balls and all that stuff. And then I spent some time photographing that, and that was actually long enough for then the sun to come up over the hill, which then I was like, oh, this is like sort of, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while, because like I see quite a few shots, like, you know, birds silhouetted just like with the ball, like the sun, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want something like that. Then this was awesome. I chose portrait, I think, because I think it worked better with the stick going down or a bit of grass. I took some.
Well, I think with the
landscape
orientation of the insect and the blade of grass, I
took
think
some
portrait is the right
landscape ones,
choice. Yeah.
I think they looked nice. So I'm pretty sure from memory I balanced it on my knee, the camera, and I went into live view because I shoot with a DSLR, and the viewfinder looking into the sun is just absolutely horrible. It's blinding, as probably some of you know. So I used live view, and I think this was shot at ISO 500 at 1,250th of a second at f3.5. That's
the memory of youth. It's the memory of youth.
Yeah, I know. You turn the dials to
I
look
went
nice,
over it
don't
before.
you,
I'm
Andy?
trying to remember it. I'm looking through my settings. This. Remember. And then for anybody who cares, it was taken with a Nikon D7500 and a Tamron 90mm f2.8 macro. And then, so I took this photo. I actually took this in March for silhouettes. I don't usually take images that I enter for the month, like in that month. I usually just use previous images. So I actually took this, like, not meaning it, but I took it for silhouettes.
Well, that's a good way of doing it, actually, I think, as well. I mean, particularly now that all the categories are open sort of from the beginning of the year, is to think specifically about the category. That's a really good way. I think, Andy, you'll agree with this. You're not.
Oh, totally.
It's a really good way of approaching competition photography, is to take something specific, you know, for the competition for a category, rather than just looking through your back catalog and saying, oh, that one might work in that category, this might work in that category. You know, if you're shooting specifically for competitions, I think that can give you a really good edge.
So can bribery and corruption as well. That can give you a really good edge. Bribery and corruption is always welcome.
Don't encourage him at such a young age, Andy.
This is just such a great shot, right? We look at this, right? We're just joshing, right?
Because I haven't finished yet.
Still not finished.
Hold on. I got this image, I edited it, and I watched your video, Andy, about the silhouette. Yes. So, my mum was telling me, "Oh, watch that video," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll watch it." And you said you think silhouette should be like completely black or something with no details. Like, oh, I like my silhouettes with a little bit of detail, you know, because you can still see it. And there is still a little bit of detail in there. So I went back to Lightroom and went to my black slider and all the way down. Yeah, and then then I ended up with this.
But I can see some detail on the stalk there. I think, I mean, I like my silhouettes like that, but for God's sake, don't listen to me. I think everyone should be.
There's a bit of detail in there still, isn't
there?
Yeah,
but I think but look at the depth of focus on it, and it's just a really beautiful image. And I think what I like about it, I like the fact that it's not straight. We see a lot of images that are straight, right? It's nicely angled. So
I didn't straighten it. I just took it like that, and it's sort of
but it works. It doesn't. No, take credit for it. It works. You know, it works really well. I think because of that, and I think because it's almost a desaturated image, if you know what I mean. That the sun isn't really saturated, and that really works. I think if that was any brighter or redder, typical ridiculous Rouse oversaturate everything style, it would ruin it. And I think the fact that it's desaturated a bit, it looks fantastic. I just think, as soon as I saw this, it jumped out at the screen, and that's all you can ask of any image that for the whole work you've put in, is that when somebody who doesn't know you, who doesn't know what you do, suddenly they see an image of yours and it jumps out the screen. It's like, wow, I want to know about that image. It's the biggest compliment you can ever get.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Andy's video actually on silhouettes, then go and take a look at that as well, because it's seriously, mate, you're too modest. There's some really good
videos
again.
You've inspired me, boss, to do videos again.
Yeah, good. Yeah, because I've been, well, as people will know, I've been doing a few for
But D'Artagnan, that's a
Wild
great picture. Keep doing this style. Keep following your. I've seen some of you. Keep following your own style. Take inspiration from others, but you're doing really well and you're on a good path. Just keep going it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I will.
Not going to remove that. As good as that picture is, let's remove it and let's bring you up bigger on the screen again. No, I think, you know, what Andy's saying is absolutely right. You know, is follow your own path, follow your own style. You know, keep keep coming up with stuff like that, because you know that's what it's all about. That's what competition photography is about, and that's what enjoying photography is all about. You know, if I always think that if you're enjoying what you're doing, I think it shows in the pictures that you take. I think you'd agree with that, Andy, wouldn't you? I mean,
God, yeah.
yeah.
You've got to believe in it. I mean, that's why I can't do. I mean, I had a fantastic wedding photographer, right? Who was Neil Jackson, just awesome, right? And I watched him work all day long, and I'm thinking, there's no way in the world I could do what you do for even 10 seconds, because he believes and loves he genuinely loves what he does, and that's what we do. We love wildlife. We believe in what we do, and I think the pictures, they show that. And if you're photographing, like if I do a landscape, you can tell I'm actually hating it, and it's being like, for some reason, I'm being forced to do it because it's not naturally what I love to do. But put a cute, cuddly polar bear in front of me, and I'm happy. And I think we should follow.
I was going to say, I mean, you know, that polar bear shot is you know, borrows a lot from landscape.
Don't you dare call it a landscape. It's got an animal in it. Don't you dare call it a landscape. Dare you?
But what I'm saying is, it borrows a lot of the skill set from landscape photography.
Yeah, I think you've got to believe in what you do. If you believe and you're happy and in your good or bad mood, doesn't matter which one, as long as you believe in what you do. But I think you're doing really great, D'Artagnan. Just keep going, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. D'Artagnan, thank you very much for coming on again and spending your time early on a Monday morning for you, as it is.
Oh, I know. I almost like, is it too much to get up at 6:30 to join you? I'm like, nah.
Too much to get up to talk to Rob and Andy. Come on.
6:30.
It was all because of Andy. I just wanted to talk to Andy.
I have to get up at 3:30 to go and do a glorified rabbit called Derek at 3:30 in the morning, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway,
you know,
keep getting up, keep going out, keep doing this great artwork. It's brilliant.
Let's just catch up with a couple of comments before you go.
Happy getting up early in the morning, but then I have to try to convince my parents to get up early as well to drive me places, because I'm still not quite old enough to drive.
But you can still do stuff in your backyard.
Oh yeah,
early
in
the morning. Yeah.
It sounds like you've got a hell of a backyard. I mean, 300 yards to the
I
drive.
do have quite a good backyard.
Yeah, you know
exactly.
What I'm saying?
So you don't need to be driven anywhere. Go and concentrate on the stuff in your backyard. Anyway, let's catch up with a couple of comments before you go, D'Artagnan, because a few people have been commenting. So where we are, Christian Rogers says hello from a drizzly Wakefield. Hello, Christian. Meredith Weiner says hello, D'Artagnan. Amazing photo. Much love from your auntie Meredith. There you go. You got family on again. That's what you need. Support from your family. It's good to see. And John Bradburn says hello from Buxton. Hello, John. And Meredith says, yes, D'Artagnan is my nephew, but he's the most dedicated young man I know. He works so incredibly hard on his craft, and he truly deserves every success. Well, hear to that is all I can say. You know, and there's no substitute for hard work in anything in life, I don't think, and photography is no different. Anyway, there we go. So Ben Pullett says amazing image, D'Artagnan. Okay. Anyway, Vicky Santello makes a comment, but we'll catch up with that later because it's, anyway. Okay, D'Artagnan, lovely to talk to you again, and thank you for the effort and getting up at 6:30 to talk to Andy and not me. But that's fine. You know, I understand.
I've met you before. I was more interested in meeting him.
Well, yeah, you're backtracking now, aren't you? You're just he's trying to recover.
That's me done in the competition now. Thanks. That's me done now. I'm over.
Vicky Santello says, "Congratulations, D'Artagnan! Brilliant image. I've just connected with you on Instagram. Wish I had started when I was 15.
I wish I'd got another follower. Brilliant! Look at that.
Anybody, if you want to see more of my work, you can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Well, give them your Instagram handle. Come on.
At the name down there, it should be D'Artagnan Sprangle Photography.
Okay, cool. But you heard it here. Go and follow D'Artagnan.
I'm going to Insta-goggle you now.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Andy. Means a lot.
No, don't not me. I'm a has been, but darts, hag, and
Oh, and
there you are.
Vicky says she's followed you as well, Andy. So there we go.
There you
You
go.
got another follower.
Oh yeah,
There
that's
you are.
me.
There you go. Brilliant.
Very nice.
D'Artagnan,
thank you.
I'm going to let you get on with your. Well, presumably it's a school day for you. I know you school at home, don't you?
Yeah, homeschool.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Holiday, though.
we'll let.
I'm not
Oh,
sure
is
if that's
it?
a holiday. Well, it's always a
Okay, it's
holiday.
half-
Queen's
That's a nice
birthday.
silver eye. It's a nice silver eye, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Anyway,
It hasn't
D'Artagnan,
been
it's
too
lovely
hot
to
though.
talk to you.
I'm looking at his pictures
Thank you.
now.
Thank you for spending the time coming on and chatting to
No
us and
problem.
sharing your picture. And I'll sort the prize out with you, and as we've done
cool.
before. And no doubt we'll talk to you again. I'm sure we will. Talent like yours. I'm sure we'll talk to you again sometime.
We better.
I'm only talking of Andy's back.
Right.
Get rid of him. He's getting too cheeky.
Yeah, he is. It's time to say goodbye. We need to move on. D'Artagnan, lovely to talk to you. Thanks very much for coming on again.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you soon. All right. Okay.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Right. So where are we? Okay. So this brings us on to my founder's choice. So I'm going to play this intro video, and then I'm going to be talking to my founder's choice winner. So the founder's choice is
He's muted, but I can talk to you quite happily. Oh, there you go.
Well, it sort of stuck on me, that video. It froze on me. So anyway, it's my rubbish internet connection, presumably. But anyway, Peter.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Very well indeed, and many congratulations, Andy, on Susie and Svalbard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
and I
absolutely.
should fess up that I've known Peter for very many years, but the great thing about this competition is that it's anonymous when we judge, and I had no idea it was him until right at the end when it's all announced.
Yeah, that's very important, and not even I know who's taken the pictures until we've chosen winners and everything. So I think it's a really important part of the process actually is to be completely anonymous. I mean, you can't help but sometimes recognize styles with people, because that's just life. I mean, we look at so much photography, but the whole judging process is completely anonymous, and that's maintaining that integrity of that process is really, really important to me.
That's not a bear coming to your garden.
No, it's a hummingbird.
Yeah, because he's going to bang on about the wildlife in his garden, right? We're going to be here forever.
And scarlet tanager. Just saw scarlet tanager in the top. Oh, beautiful.
Okay, you can go off, people, can't you?
There'll be a bear sitting there in a minute.
Peter, let's share your image with everybody again, and then we'll let you talk about it. So let's just bring that up. So tell us a little bit about this. I mean, well, Andy, do you want to say what was so special about this picture to kick off with?
We're looking at lots of great pictures of silhouettes, lots of great pictures, bang bang bang, they're all silhouettes, and then you see this, and it just stands out straight away, and it makes you laugh because the tongue out. The great Litchfield said, Patrick Litchfield used to say, I take standard pictures with one thing in that picture that makes it stand out. There was always something some little quirk that make it and that's what elevates a picture that's good to a picture that's great. And for me, well, I actually thought there was an appendage coming out when I first saw this, which gave me quite a lot of amusement. But then I realised actually that the one next to it was the tongue that was the main focus. I like the one like sniffing its back and the other one asleep on the end. I just like also the processing, the treatment of it. It's very simplistic in a and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, it's just a typical, it's all about the shape and the form and the context that it's in. And it's pure. You don't judge it on species. You don't judge it on whether it's male or female, or whether it's got one wing or two wing or whatever. It's just about line, shape, and form, and it's all about the composition. And for me, I just thought it was such a strong image for that. I just thought it was amazing.
Me too. I mean, the thing is, isn't it funny how numbers, normally you go for 3 really works well, doesn't it, as a number of subjects in a in a frame, but 4 really works well. It's just the combination of how they're all interacting with each other. I think
so tell us.
Perfect.
Give us the gem.
So come on.
Go on. Give us the gem.
Give us the story, Peter.
Because he's a professor, right? And he's amazing when so be prepared for a good story here. Right, go on.
So these are black flying foxes, and these are the species that are responsible for the transmission of the virus, the Hendra virus, which goes from flying foxes to horses to people. And we've been working on these for nearly 20 years. We've just got an amazing paper about to come out where we've been able to demonstrate for the first time ever that habitat loss interacting with climate disruption changes the behavior of these animals, and then they go to places and they transmit the virus. Now, I was on Stradey Island, which is just off Brisbane, where we were catching and working on these black flying foxes and sampling them. And, while we're sampling, I'm trying to get photos. And then I thought, and I hadn't got very good ones. And then I was just watching the colony just as it was getting dusk. And they suddenly all come alive and they all start interacting. And, I was trying to push my ISO and everything. And I thought, forget that. Just do silhouettes, go for the silhouettes and try and get that interaction. So as Andy said, it's all about the behavior. It's all about, they're all waking up and they have to be that distance apart. Otherwise they'll sort of nip each other. And then there's a male that sort of dominates on one branch. And if he gets females coming next to him, he gets access to those females. So, but of course I had to get it so it was in the right plane. This one branch was sitting there between the 2 trees. And I just had a fabulous 20 minutes before I had to go and catch bats.
See, Rob, what did I tell you, right? I mean, you can just be quiet, really. He just goes, it's like some Wild Bunch who just goes off on something about wildlife. We all learn everything that we never knew before. And it's fantastic. And you and I don't have to do anything, mate. We just sit here and Peter runs the show.
Well, I mean, it makes our job easy, doesn't it?
First of all, I'll big him up because he'll hate this. He is a fantastic conservationist and he's done a tremendous amount for wildlife around the world and doesn't get or want any credit for it. But let's look at him as a photographer because he's a damn good photographer too. This is a really creative image but I like what you said, the way that you suddenly decided, right, I'm going to go for one thing. I'm going to go for the silhouettes. I'm not just going to try and take this and take that. And you're getting stressed and you're not getting anything as a photographer. You're in the zone. You were nice and relaxed. You decided what you were going to do and you stuck to your guns. And that is the best thing that you can do. When you're going to shoot silhouettes, you shoot silhouettes. You don't go around the other side and shoot the sun on it. You shoot silhouettes because that's what you're in the mindset for. And so I think, did you shoot this in black and white or in a picture style, or did you convert it later?
No, this was shot in a DSLR, so I converted it afterwards. But but it was totally. It was going for the silhouette, as you said. I mean, there wasn't any point doing anything else. I tried, but gave up.
Well, the thing is, you get to a point, don't you, where the light just isn't usable in that way to show the detail. So, whereas some people may well have put the camera away back in the bag. Well, there's always something else to do. You can approach it in a different way, and this is what this competition is all about. It's trying to show people that there's always another shot. There's always another way of taking something. And okay, it's not going to make an ID book, but that's not the point. The point is that it's an artistic image. It's an artistic interpretation of the scene that you had in front of you.
Well, the competition is WildArt. The competition is WildArt. This is WildArt silhouette, 100%. Silhouette doesn't have to be a silhouette against the sun or against a bright sky. No. Silhouette is absence of detail. This has absence of detail. 100%. It's almost like I call them stick images. There's just like it's just like a drawing around the outside. And as I say, it's the tongue that makes it, because I'm sure you picked that with the tongue in it because it makes it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, without the tongue, it's half the picture, isn't it? Really, because it is that interaction, because it makes you laugh. It gives an emotional response. The viewer gets an emotional response to looking at the image, and that is what makes a successful image.
And this
You know,
competition gives a voice to images like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to say exactly the same point, because, you know, I've been taking silhouettes and I'm trying to build up a portfolio of silhouettes, but I just feel as though I was screaming in the dark until you had this silhouette session come up, and I thought, wow, that's just fantastic. Because some people, and I don't want to refer to the Royal Photographic Society, but they wouldn't even consider this an image.
Yeah.
You know,
Who?
you've clearly got your exposure wrong if you did a
God,
silhouette.
I must remind myself to go for the lowest award, whatever it is. What is it again? I can't remember. I've never been for it. You know, the one where you basically pay 100 quid and you get it. That one. I must go for that one though.
Yeah. Anyway, no, just WildArt. This, you know, that's
It works, mate.
Yeah.
It works. The story is actually. I'd like Rob. Can we make sure the story is published along with the picture, because the story of why it came about is also brilliant.
Exactly, and again, that's you know, a lot of why this competition exists as well. You know, is to give a voice for these sort of conservation issues. You know, it's about celebrating wildlife, but it's also about making people aware and using this fantastic imagery, you know, to you know, tell the story.
So that is my passion at the moment. So I've given up working on COVID. I'm actually working on pandemic prevention and how we can stop the next one. But this, our work that we've done on this, and it's not just me, it's a group of fabulous scientists. We've really demonstrated that if you want to prevent future pandemics like the COVID one, you have to look after bats, you have to look after habitat, and you have to look after climate to do that. And I'm trying to, and that's why I'm rushing around all the time, Andy. I'm just trying to get people excited about this so we can get a strategic business model that's sustainable to try and get rewilding taking place in the name of health. So, you know, who should pay for that? Well, business, tourism, agriculture, you know, and that's really, to my mind, that's really, really the most important issue at the moment. If I don't push it now, we've lost the opportunity.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely.
Just amazing.
Well, I think like everything, you know, in terms of sort of conservation and you know, climate change and everything, you know, the window is getting so much smaller now. The opportunity, you know, it will not exist for much longer. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on all night, and I won't.
But the thing is, we have people like Peter who are the champions of it, and that's fantastic. It's one thing to be on TV saying I'm the big conservation champion, whatever. It's another thing when you're at the grassroots here, providing the science that irrefutably proves what we're all screaming, because we can scream till we're blue in the face. We're not listened to. These guys are the ones that are listened to, and we have to give them the space to do it.
Yeah, because they're providing the proof. Yeah.
The landowners in Australia, just as an example, have been really great about this, really keen on rewilding. But, you know, rewilding is something that starts at home, isn't it? We should be rewilding our backyards. Well, like you with your wasps, Andy, and things like that. We should be turning our lawns into wild meadows. We should be doing all the right things. Start at home and then work locally.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. No, I mean, half of my garden is now completely rewilded. Wildflower meadow, pond. Pond is one of the best things you can put in. It's almost instant, the stuff that comes in. I mean, my pond's been in for about 18 months. And last summer, I had 4 species of damselfly, 4 species of dragonfly egg laying in it. And I know there are larvae in it because I've seen them. And I reckon they're emperor. I think I've got emperor dragonfly larvae in there because they were definitely egg laying in there. All sorts of. So it's amazing how quickly wildlife finds these spaces, and if we give them space, you know, and give them these areas, they will take advantage.
Totally, and then have those areas connected within the landscape, so there's not just your pond, there's other neighbouring ponds.
Exactly.
It scales up, and that's really interesting. Yeah.
Connectivity is really, really important. And isn't it amazing when we talk about biodiversity, how a housing estate, if people rewilded part of their gardens, would be a lot more biodiverse than an agricultural field, for example.
Yes.
You know. So,
Good.
There we go. Peter, that's an amazing image. We've got a few comments coming in, so let me share those with you. So Vicky Santello says, "Hi Peter, congratulations. So fun to see you here." Susie Crow says, "Hey Peter, congrats. It's like club night reunion." It's just a few wild bunches, I guess.
Sorry.
And Vicky Santello again says, "Your image is so creative. Well done." Mal Ostwick, "Congrats Peter, great image." Brad James, "Simply stunning image, Peter." And Vicky Santello again says, hold on, just scroll down a bit. Vicky Santello again says, "Definitely this competition gives a platform for creative images like this. I'm so grateful to WildArt for the opportunities you're providing." Well, it's an absolute pleasure, and I'm glad that the competition is striking a chord with so many people. So Ben Pullett says, "So many great shapes in this shot, Peter. Awesome." Anna Maria Grimo, "Inspiring, Peter. We still have a window of time to restore." And Kuram Khan says, "Wonderful work." So I think there's plenty of love for the image and plenty of love for the sentiment that's going around, and in terms of the sort of conservation message, which is so important. So
thank you.
Let's stop sharing this screen for a minute and let's bring you back up big on the screen. Peter, it's lovely to talk to you. As I said last time you were on, we really should get you back on and talk in more detail about some of these sort of conservation issues, and let's line that up sometime. It's like everything.
He's been stitched up to do spirit bears for the next Wild Bunch.
Oh,
so,
have you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's something I've always wanted to photograph.
Me too, but I'll just nick his pictures. It's easier. I just nick his pictures. It's far easier.
Peter, lovely to talk to you, and thank you so much for taking the time to come on and have a chat and share all that with us. It's inspiring stuff. So,
thanks, mate.
Yeah. Cheers.
Lovely to talk
to you soon.
And hopefully we'll talk again soon. All right,
thank
Peter.
You.
Okay. Right. Okay. So that brings us on to
40 minutes in. I thought I'd just give you a time check there.
I know. Thanks, Andy. Yeah. I'm trying to keep it to an hour. It's not looking too bad, actually.
You're doing good.
So
I was
let's
about
go
to give you the...
Yeah.
But you're right.
Right. Bronze Award. So our Bronze Award winner is... Those videos are freezing on me, so I hope everybody saw that okay.
I was playing live then.
Yeah, I could see you. I was taking my cue from you. Andy, if you do that in the next one so I know when it finishes, because clearly something's going, yeah. Anyway, Yuri, hello. How are you?
Hi, Rob. Hi, Andy. Yeah, I'm fine.
Put his picture up to start with.
I'm going to put the picture up. Yeah, absolutely, because this is an incredible image.
It is.
Come on.
It is. We looked at this, Yuri. I'll tell you, we looked at this a lot. All of us in great detail. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It kept coming up and it kept coming back, and we kept saying, "What was that? Let's go and look at that again. What is that? How is he? What is? Oh, what is that? What?" It just kept like all the time. It kept drawing us. It's one of those images where we'd go, through the categories. We continue looking at pictures, and we'd keep coming back to this to look at it again. It was unbelievable, mate.
Yeah, because it almost looks like a double exposure, but I know it's not. And when you explained how you'd taken this image, I went, of course, because I've done something similar with trees. Just to try and do something a little bit more artistic, but you've done it with a bird. These things blooming well fly away, and I'm doing it with a tree that just sits there and allows me to to spend as much time as I need. So
yeah, exactly.
Why don't you tell everybody how you took this image to start with, and then Andy and I'll have a chat about it and eulogize over it a bit more, because it certainly deserves it.
Yeah, sure. So actually, the basically story here is that. I was discussing this ICM, the intentional camera movements photos with my friend, who started to be enthusiastic about these pictures as well. And then actually he started to do these double exposures, and he actually told me that he actually does one picture sharp, and then he unfocused the picture, the second picture. and then that he gets more like atmospheric or something like that pictures. But then actually I started, because of this, actually I started to think that it should be possible actually to do everything in one exposure. So actually what I started to do is actually to extend the exposure even longer. So for example, this is 2 seconds exposure. And then actually you just need, let's say, maybe 1/4 of the exposure to keep your camera still, just to get enough information about the silhouette, the tree and the bird. And then for the, let's say, 1.5 seconds, you just move the camera. I just move it, for example, I aim to the branches or something, and then I just started to move with the camera like through ICM to get the textures, or so that just the aim is here really to get more like impressionistic feeling or atmospheric feeling of the picture. So this is basically the whole thing. It is not that easy discipline, but then even when you manage to do it right, so then you get interesting picture, I think.
Because when you gave me the story, you did it right. Because when you gave me the story, I went, of course, that's how you've done it. Because it is, if you focus on a subject and you've got a camera, was your camera on a tripod, presumably, to start?
No, it was handheld. So
was your handheld?
It is actually easier than
Because what I was doing with trees is I was, again, with like you, I was doing a 1 or 2 second exposure, and I thought to myself, well, if I, for half of the exposure, if I don't, because I was zooming in and out with a zoom function on the lens, and I thought, well, if for half of the exposure, if I don't touch the camera and then I zoom in the second half, I'm going to get that impression to start with, and then I'm going to get the zoom bit. And you've done it with intentional camera movement here.
But it's also
fabulous.
But it's the color and the atmosphere as well, and the tone here is it's spooky, is what I want to say this as. It's a harbinger of doom. It's got really fantastic composition out the leading edges that lead it across. There's something in all the corners. There's interest everywhere when you look at it. In fact, the crow, which I guess it is almost incidental in the picture. It's I just think it's mesmerizing. I hope that you are looking into this style more and more and doing more and more of your photography like this, because I'd love to see more of your stuff like this.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, and this is exactly something that I'm really now excited or passionate about. So I just go whenever I have time to go outside, and because actually also this is what I started to think about the ICM. This is really just mainly panning, when animals are moving. But then actually I think that this is also solution for, as you mentioned, for static scenes like this, that bird sitting on the branch. You don't know what to do with this scene because it is.
I think boring. It was inspired. So when you gave me that, so I thought this is inspired, and I thought, why haven't I thought of doing that? That's it's an incredible way of looking at things.
You've got a very nice portfolio on your very nice portfolio on your Instagram, which I've just been looking at.
Thanks.
I mean, that's got. I can see some of the roots of this style in there, particularly. So I would encourage everyone else to have a look at it. It's just your name, basically. So first name,
first name _ last name.
I followed you. Not that means anything, but that's
No, you've done some amazing stuff with herring gulls and things like that, haven't you? That we've talked about before when you've been on. And in fact, some of the stuff that you've done has inspired me. And when I was away in Wales, I had. We stayed in this house which was on the side of a sort of valley, which is really close to the coast. But the opposite side of the valley would go in shade in the afternoon, and then these herring gulls would fly through the sunlight in front of it. So you got this really high contrast that I could create this black background really easily by underexposing by 3 or 4 stops. And of course, the herring gulls were properly exposed at that, giving that sort of exposure compensation. But then having photographed them and freezing the motion of them just to create that sort of black background, I thought, oh, what would Hiri do? Oh, let's go for some motion blur. And actually, I tried some sort of half-second type or 20th of a second type exposure times, played around with it a little bit. It's quite difficult because, it's still quite bright. So actually getting a long enough shutter speed was a bit of a problem. But I got some really quite nice results from it. And that's inspired by what you've been doing, with the gulls.
really cool that I can inspire some.
But that's what the
other people.
competition's about, Andy, isn't it? I
Absolutely,
mean,
it's what it's all
it's
about.
about seeing other
I
people's
was just
work and
looking at
going,
his pictures. Sorry, I was just
wow.
looking at his pictures on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is all about. It is about inspiring others, and is also about trying these techniques and inspiring others to try them. And I think that you've done just that. I can look at someone here and like the leopard in Botswana, and for somebody who's done a lot of that in the past, I just recognise the technique, and I know how difficult it is because there's an awful lot of stuff you take where it's not recognisable. And you have to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. So keep going.
I will.
Good.
Yeah, I mean that's it. That's it with that sort of motion blur stuff. Is a lot of them are going to end up in the bin, aren't they? But you know, when you get that shot that really works, oh my, it turns heads because it's so different. You know, and this is what judges like. They like to see things where they go, I've not seen that before. I've not seen that. I'm going to use that. I'm going to incorporate that in my own work in some fashion. because it inspires them.
Have we got any comments from any of the
we
attendees
have.
on that? Yeah,
we have. So
I bet we have.
I'm going to share some of those in a second. So, well, let's go for it now. So Kurum Khan says, wonderful work. Congratulations, Hiri. This is striking and so impressionistic. Thanks for sharing your process. And Ben Pullet says, congrats. Christina says, congrats, Yuri. I love this image. It's almost like a painting. And well, it has got a very painterly feel about it, hasn't it? Yeah, it's gorgeous. Malostwick, interesting capture and something new for me to consider on future outings.
Yeah.
Again, this is what it's about.
Inspiration. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And Kevin Morgans is on. Hi, Kev. Hope you're well. Haven't spoken to you for ages. We must catch up. Stunning, bud. Love it. Yeah. And coming from something like Kevin, and obviously all the people that are on tonight, that's praise indeed. So
good job.
Yeah, no, stunning work.
Good job.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And thank you to Cotton Carrier as well for sponsoring that award. And I'll sort the prize out with you, which is one of their harness systems. If you haven't got one, they sent me one, and I've used it quite a lot. It's really quite handy.
I was actually taking mine to Galapagos on Thursday, and I'm missing a strap and missing all the things on it. So I would have taken it, Cotton Carrier, because it's brilliant. Apologies for not.
Yeah. We should get onto them. They'll probably send you another one, Andy.
I'm not after
we haven't got time now, have you, really?
Not after that, anyway. It's fine.
Yeah. Kurum Khan says awesome. Yeah. So you've got some top people, on tonight, sort of, giving you lots of love for this image, because it is something special. This is what I love about competitions and competition images. You come up with things like this, and you go, yeah. Right. How can I use that in some of the work that I do? How can how can I harness some of that potential in some of the things that I look at? So
this is the best recognition I can get for my work. So.
Then the competition has done its job.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thanks. Keep entering, keep winning.
Yeah. Let's stop sharing that for a minute. Let's just
I don't want to see that anymore. It's depressing.
It's too good, isn't it? Too good. Anyway, it's lovely to talk to you, and thank you for coming on again, and thank you for waiting around.
Thank you.
While we're chatting to everybody else, and congratulations on a fabulous image. And Peter Hudson says, agree with the comment, really inspirational and original. Yeah, absolutely. So well done, Hiri, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again at some point. This competition
I will
progresses if you come up with images like that. So
we will be.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the time. Lovely to talk to you, and we'll talk again soon. All right. Okay. Take it easy.
Bye.
Wow, amazing stuff. Right.
You did good.
Yeah, I'm keeping to the time plan, aren't I? Yeah.
Almost.
Okay. Stop waffling, Rob.
Correct.
Okay, Brand. Right, here we go. So it brings us to our silver award winner, who's not here, but he sent me some words to read out. So I'll do that. And if you tell me when this video is over, because I'm sure it'll just. I'm not. Yeah.
I'm not ready yet.
Give me the thumbs up.
I'm not ready yet. Sorry, I wasn't playing it.
So our silver award winner for silhouettes is.
now.
Thank you.
I feel
It
that
just
music
freeze
is
on
like
me.
it's like a struggling Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
That music,
Yeah.
struggling along.
I need to change it next time.
Yeah,
I'll
please do.
change it next time.
Yeah,
I do like to change things around. Let's share that. Let's share that picture because it's certainly worth sharing because
Awesome.
we're going to talk about this.
We
That
are.
is for sure. Right. Let me just bring that back
Do you
in.
want to read the
Okay.
words first so we get an idea of the
I shall read the
context?
words. I shall read the words, and for that I'm going to need my glasses because I can't see a thing these days without those close up. Oh, it's getting old. It's no good.
You're
Anyway,
young
I suppose it's
compared to
better than the
me.
alternative.
Yeah.
Right. So this is obviously Tibor Latowski. So well done, Tibor, for this fantastic image. And he says, "My passion is the love of nature, to photograph nature and to present the world around us in a unique way." Hear to that. I have been studying the behavior of alpine newts for several years now, and I try to take special pictures of them. I can usually take photos of them in the spring because the waters of the biospheres around the streams are still clear. But I've also observed that they take advantage of the spawning frogs as they gather around the frogs in the evening and feast on the eggs. My photo, Floating Silhouette, was taken in March this year in Bayerisch National Park, Germany. I wanted to take a picture of a newt from underwater looking up to the surface with the crowns of the trees in the background. I came across a lot of obstacles to get the picture done, but in the end I sold everything successfully. I got an underwater camera housing that I put on the tripod, preset everything on the camera manually, and placed it underwater in the narrow stream. I attached the equipment to the bottom of the creek. The idea was that the newts, as they swim towards the frog's eggs, would swim over the camera, and I would take the exposure remotely from the shore using a hand-made wired remote control. As the evening approached, the newts appeared and pictures were taken, but the biggest challenge was getting the newts in sharp focus. I tried for several days until the frog's eggs were almost completely devoured. In the meantime, dozens of photos were taken of them from this perspective, but only a few were sharp. And I love this last phrase, and I kept it as he wrote it because I just thought it was great. Luckily for me, it turned out to be the way the blue clock feels with the alpine newt floating in it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw this, if you remember, and it was like, I wasn't sure if it was from above with the reflection or from underneath, and I don't read the captions, as you know. I'm not interested in the captions, it's the picture. And I just thought, for me, it was the position of the newt, which was really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, the position was really cool with the body curved. The way that you've got all these really interesting patterns in the water that are coming out in these concentric circles, and you've still got the trees around one side to tell the story, to give you a context. Because if the whole picture was rippled, it would be out of context. It would be arty, but it would be out of context. I think when you add the blue light into that as well, silhouette, bang.
I mean, I know when I go through the images when they've come in, there are always half a dozen that stand out to me, and I just know that they're going to do well. But this one, I just absolutely knew. I thought this has got to be a prize position because it's such a unique angle, and it's, as you say, that everything has come together so perfectly. The shape, the form of the newt, the shape that it's taken, a slightly sort of curved body shape. The position in the frame, as you say, those concentric circles of ripples are coming out from it, not disturbing, too much the silhouettes of the trees, and they're all pointing towards it. They're all coming in, and it's all pointing towards the newt. Everything has come together here.
Yep,
and
it's great.
It just goes to show you that pictures like this don't happen in 5 minutes. They take days, weeks, months, sometimes years, even.
And I'm jealous of the time that he has to take this picture, because I would never be able to invest the time to do this, and a large part of me is jealous of people that can do this, because I think this is just an awesome picture and a recognition of an awful lot of hard work and skill and an awful lot of setbacks that he's obviously hurdled to continue forward in the belief that he can get this picture. And that's what I said earlier on. It's about belief, and it's about wanting to strive to be something better than yourself as a photographer, not settling for the boring. And it's just a fantastic image, and it's an equally they're all fantastic images tonight, right? but it's an equally fantastic story. And you can imagine how he's tried and tried and tried, and the effort of getting the camera on the housing underwater, making sure it doesn't flood. There's 1,001 things, you know, that can go wrong. And with a fading light, it's just worked, and it's just a great moment in time. It really is.
I mean, when you've taken something like this and you look at it on the back of the camera, you just know. He must have known when he saw this image and gone, yeah, that's what I wanted. That's the vision. That's the vision I had, and I've achieved
brilliant.
it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But again, it's having that brain to try something different from a different perspective and thinking about all the elements. And this thing didn't happen by chance. You know, the elements were placed together.
The whole thing is just a great picture from a visionary, but somebody who concentrates on a species that's not mainstream, you know. And you know, I applaud people like that as well. I applaud anyone who concentrates on any of this kind of, as I call it, macro stuff. Because for me, it's an alien concept and an alien world. And I look at the dedication it takes to get one single image like this right. It's just astounding. And once again, I'm glad that this competition gives an air to pictures like this that wouldn't get the air otherwise. And we've got judges here in this competition that recognize the effort, even though they don't know the story, because we're all experienced. We know the effort that's gone in to get something like this. And whilst the picture is the most important thing, you know, when you know that somebody has put so much effort into it, you understand a bit more about the person as well, which I think is important in this competition.
Yeah, here to that.
There you go. Anyway,
you know, so thank you for that. That's exactly what, you know, that's exactly what this competition is about. You know, it's about celebrating, you know, the art of the image, regardless of what the subject is. Almost, you know, the subject, of course, is an important part of it. It's what makes it. But it's, you know, it could, you know, a newt has got every chance of winning. You know, every chance, as much chance as a lion or a, you know, one of the mega species of winning, because it's about the art of the image, and this is just sublime.
Brilliant.
I just knew this was going to do well. Anyway, let's pick up on a few comments. Right, where are we? So Brad James says, beautiful painterly feel to this one, Yuri. Great job, obviously talking about Yuri's crow picture. Eli Porat, hello Eli. Wonderful photos, everyone. Congratulations. Vicky Santello says, congratulations, Tibor. So many layers of details and creativity in this creative image. I love the swirl around the newt in contrast to the geometry of the trees pointing to the center. Yeah. Peter Hudson, fascinating story about how the newts are eating so many of the frog's eggs. Love the originality. And Mal Ostwick, a great image, so very worthy of the silver award. Patience and perseverance definitely paid off. And Brad Jones says, huge congrats. This image has so many wonderful details. Well, that's what the judges thought. It was just amazing. Oh, and Kuram Khan says congrats. So it's something different. That's what judges like.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right. Shall we, as good as that is, let's just stop sharing that screen for a second. Where are we? Get it to the right place. Stop sharing. There we go. And we are going to go for the, well, here we are, drum roll. And I've gone over a bit, haven't I?
Yeah. That's what I was.
Yeah,
go on.
Right. Let's go for it then. This is a Gold Award winner for silhouettes. Is, right, you'll have to tell me when this video's over, Andy. Anyway. Together right at the end, my video played perfectly for me. Excellent. Yaron, many congratulations on a fantastic
Thank you, Andy
image.
and Rob.
Really great pictures.
Thank you for hanging around for so long.
Stick it up on there.
I'll stick the I will stick the image up. Let's just what do I do now? Hang on. I've lost
the screen.
Share the screen again. Oh, I tell you, I'm such a pro. Such a pro. Not. Okay, let's just bring up and you'll see Tybor's amazing. Newt for a second, and I shall move it on. I just thought I think I have got a picture of Tybor which I was going to share with everybody. Oh no, hang on, you got it. Anyway, yeah, let's not go there. So right, this is our Gold Award winner, Andy. I mean, well, go on. I'll let you kick off with this.
Okay, I didn't. First of all, when I picked this image, I picked it on the connection, the colours between the two, the composition, and everything else leading out of the corners. And then I understood that I saw an eyebrow and a nose and a mouth and a slight moustache and a slight Adam's apple, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? This is like, oh my god, absolutely fantastic image on so many levels. It's a storytelling image, but it shows the beauty of taking an image in silhouette, because if you didn't take that in silhouette, I bet you wouldn't see that face.
No,
absolutely, you're right.
Just tell us the story, Aaron.
It's got a real Roald Dahl feel about it, that face, don't you think? You know, those sort of Roald Dahl characters.
Quite a handsome character, actually. Where did you take it then, Yaron?
So, first of all, congratulations to everyone else. Really brilliant images all around, top 100 and top 3. So congratulations to everyone. This picture was taken at the rim of the Ramon crater in Israel. This is a place where these Nubian ibex like to hang out. It's right outside of a town called Ramon. And one of the beautiful things that I love about silhouettes, especially morning silhouettes, is that you wake up early in the morning and you don't really know what you're going to find. Unlike silhouettes that you shoot in the afternoon, where you can prepare for and there's some more planning and less of a surprise. In the morning, you really don't know what you're going to find. You know that you want to shoot a silhouette, but the rest is up to what's going to happen. So I woke up 2 a.m. I had a 2.5-hour drive to get to this location. I got there a little earlier than I expected, and you can't see it in the image, but one of the things that fascinated me at first was I could see the crescent moon with the Venus right at the tip of it. Mm-hmm. It's unfortunately it's cut. It didn't appear in this particular image, so I was focusing on that at first. And then I saw these two heading from both directions of the this profile of a person, and to me it looked like they were like chatting to each other. Like one is asking the other one, "Are you going to come down, or I'm going to come up?" Or there's definitely some interaction that seems in the picture. I'm not really sure that in reality there really something really happened there. But the colors and, as Andy said, the profile of the person and the interaction between them, that's what made the shot.
Did you know this location and that sort of face, that profile of the?
Yeah, so I didn't know the look. Yeah, I didn't know the location that they like to hang out at the cliffs, and not this particular profile, but the general area. Again, I came and walked around and looked for interesting spots, and luckily they were most of the ibexes were concentrated to the right of the person, but a few of them actually showed up from the top, and so yeah, there's definitely some preparation that you have to, when you come to something like that, you have to know where you're going to look for, what you're going to look for, where is the general area, but you don't know what's going to happen. That's the beauty.
But it's that interaction between the two, isn't it? And they're looking at each other, and
what happened next? What happened next?
Yeah. Next thing is that the one on the top came down, and like they're amazing how fast these guys jump. So he just climbed behind this profile and disappeared, and sun came up, and they were all gone.
Deary me. When you looked at it on the back of the camera, you must have been excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love silhouettes. As I said, it's that's a reason to wake up super early.
Yeah. So you could tell D'Artagnan a thing or two about waking up super early. We would without getting up at 6:30 to talk to Andy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
No.
But it was worth it. He wanted to talk to Andy, so
yeah,
he's I wouldn't personally, but there you go. I think it's just a great image on so many levels. I'm a big stickler on compositions and leading lines. So it's, for me, it can't just be a silhouette. It's got to work as an image as well. And this works in every single way. The layering of the colors, it just works. And I think when we saw it, we were all just wow. And that's all you want for your photography, right? People you don't know and you haven't bribed and sent them dodgy pictures of themselves with greyhounds and other animals. Like, you know, when you haven't bribed people, then, you know, they react to your image in such a positive way. It's the biggest compliment that you can get. And everyone's got that tonight, where when we see these images, you've got to imagine, we've seen a lot of images when we judge, when your image just slaps us around the face and we're like, wow, superstar. I think there's no better compliment than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thank you again for the choice.
Yeah. What more can I add to that? I think Andy said it all. I mean, it is just a fabulous image that everyone just loved, because it, as Andy said, it's got all the elements going for it. You know, you've got the interaction, you've got the face, you've got the color, you've got, it's just.
I mean, as a Cockney, I would say it's banging, isn't it?
It's banging.
And I do something like this. I do something like this as well. It's banging, isn't it?
Banging. Well, you know, that is, it's an awesome picture.
It's an astounding. It's an astounding picture, Yaron. It's astounding.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So.
And I want to see more from everyone tonight, because everyone tonight is just, the images have been, you know, and I will say, do look at the galleries of all the other images, because there were some astounding images that didn't make it tonight.
And there were some astounding images that didn't make it to the top 100 as well. I mean, it was just you know, it's so hard, isn't it? I mean, it's so hard when you've got such a great standard to, as you were saying right at the start, to actually get down to a top 100, let alone, you know, getting into these sort of prize positions.
But as a judge, seeing pictures like this is inspiring. As a judge, you know, you see pictures like this, people have gone to the trouble of entering your category, right, with their work, to trust that you judge it fairly, and they've got the guts to know that this competition, as I keep saying, will judge it fairly and will give them a voice for this amazing work. And there's no bigger compliment for us judges that you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the competition is, you know, if people don't enter this stuff, it isn't there for us to judge and eulogize over, is it? You know, so it's down to the people, everybody that's been entering the competition, you know, sharing their work. It's humbling when you see such quality coming in.
And he's getting some love. He's getting some love on the comments as well.
Yeah, he is. So I will run through those with you now. I'll tell you what. Let's bring you large up on the screen and stop showing this image for a second. And so let's just take. I know, as good as it is, but we can have a proper chat and people can see your face properly. So let's do that. So let's go through the comments. Right, where? God, okay.
You just want to see the wallpaper. That's what you want to see.
Right. So Marco SA says, really inspiring and original. Kurum Khan, congrats to all the winners. Vicky Santella says, OMG, Aaron. Hello, my friend, and congratulations. Your image is so deserving. Well, absolutely. And Brad James says, huge congrats, well deserved. Marco, again, amazing ibex in composition. Really lovely and inspiring. Mal Ostwick, congrats, Yaron. Fantastic early morning light and brilliant composition involving the cliff face silhouette and the ibex. Josh Galicki's on. Hi, Josh. Hope all's well with you. Awesome image, says Josh. Peter Hudson, couldn't agree more with Andy. I am humbled by the quality in the top 100. Aaron Todd, you remember Aaron and that amazing sort of duck picture with the light, with those sort of almost candlestick lights coming down from light with Georgina. Incredible image, Yaron. Congratulations. Ben Pullett says amazing. Anne-Maria Grimo, I always follow Yaron on his page. He is a great.
Yeah, what's his page, Yaron? What's your page?
Yeah.
It's the letter Y and the letter S. That's my initials, and wildlife photography. It's mostly Africa stuff, but.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, okay. You're able to catch the moment, Yaron. Carp DM. And Antonio says, congratulations, Yaron, brilliant. So you're getting lots and lots of love, and deservedly so, for that image.
Thank you all.
Because to win this category, to a
This
very, very special image. You've seen the other stuff, you know, that's been awarded tonight, so you can see the standard that we had. So to win
Go
this
and look
category,
at the top 100, and
Yeah.
you'll see.
yeah, is
Brilliant.
quite astounding, you know, and
Brilliant.
that
Well
was
done.
a very, very
Really
special
well done.
image. So,
Amazing image.
so thank you very much for your time, and thanks for waiting around. As I said, the longest wait is always the best one, but you know, thank you so
guys.
much for sticking around and while we sort of go on and yabber on about everything else. But no, that amazing image, and you know, thank you so much for entering it. It's you know, it's a stunning shot, well deserving winner, and you know, if you keep on coming up with stuff like that, I'm sure we'll be talking again. So
We will.
thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on. And if you want to hang around for a bit, you know, I think a few of the others are still on. So hang around and we can have a quick chat off air. But yeah, for now, I'll say thank you once again, and I'll just say goodbye in the short term. We'll catch up off air if you hang around for a few minutes. So yeah, but let Andy and I wrap up. Okay. All right. Well, as we keep saying, Andy, that,
Amazing.
you know, first year of silhouettes as a category.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it again, please. That was inspiring. It's really nice to just to see so many different takes on what you think is a simple subject when you kind of think about it, and it's actually not. So to see so many different takes on it and different ideas, incredible.
Yeah, no, amazing standard. Andy, thank you so much. You know, I know you've been really, really busy.
Sorry.
And you've really had to. Well, no, you've really had to squeeze this in. So I you know, I really appreciate, you know, you making the time to do this.
My pleasure.
It hasn't been easy, you know, with the wedding and all the trips and everything else. So and thank you for all the effort with the judging and the promotion of the competition and everything else. It's been great to, you know, to have you involved with silhouettes this year.
And let's have that chat about mental health sometime.
Yeah, we must do that, and perhaps with Georgina as well, because yeah,
Sure.
that would be a good one to do. Okay, well, I'm going to play an outro video, and we'll hang around and we'll have a quick chat afterwards. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed all those images from the comments you've been making. I think I think it's fair to say that you've had a good evening and some fantastic pictures. The next live is going to be the 19th of June with Peter Bambusek, when we're going to be doing the winners for eyes. So that's already up, I think, on the YouTube channel. It'll be up on the Facebook page shortly as well. So I think that's 7 p.m. if I remember rightly. But 19th of June, winners for eyes, that's the next live. But from me and from Andy, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you all again next time.